Hello, and welcome to Independent Talent, the most action-packed indie wrestling podcast on the entire fucking planet. If you're pregnant, have high blood pressure, or experience dizziness, then you've been warned, because your ear holes are about to be crammed full of the #1 local wrestling show in the Mid-South. Now, here's your host, hailing from parts unknown, Lemon Juice McGee.
Welcome back to Independent Talent, the newest, yet still the best, independent wrestling podcast that covers the Mid-South. I'm your host, Lemon Juice McGee, and with me tonight is the fighting man, Matt Pierce.
Not only with the newest and the best, we also don't require pants.
That's true. Pants are not a requirement to be on the show. Also, our resident wrestling historian, Hoagie Masters.
Always glad to be on the show.
You are always glad. In fact, you almost always say you're always glad to be on the show. It's a fact. You're always glad to be on the show.
I love professional wrestling that much.
You can look up Gray Sports Almanac. It's there. Hoagie Masters. Glad to be on the show.
We're going to go ahead and thank everybody for the massive amount of support from episode 1. Mm-hmm. We got quite a bit of word of mouth and traffic before the show came out. Once it hit, we got a lot of good feedback. We got some not so good feedback. We'll talk about that later tonight because it is hilarious.
Yes.
It's we've already got some interviews in the bag. We've done some other stuff. We're gonna go ahead and kick off with a segment that kind of doubles as a plug for the show. But fuck it, it's our show. We'll do what we want.
Nothing.
Time to work.
Nothing means nothing.
The gimmick
Nothing
table.
means nothing. What do you mean by that?
This is the second installment of the Gimmick Table, where we talk about stuff that they sell at shows, whether it be wrestlers, promotions, what have you. Tonight, we're going to be pretty narcissistic and talk about stuff that we'll be selling at shows. Our good pal Dean Whitaker, who is an awesome graphic designer, made a logo for Independent Talent Podcast.
Absolutely. Yes. Great logo.
In all of its 1980s style glory, which is what we asked for. So upcoming shows, we will have shirts and we will have decals with the new logo on it. You can see these shirts and the design on the Independent Talent Facebook page. You look up Independent Talent Podcast, it'll pop up. And if it doesn't, well, maybe we've been pulled down for nudity. It's really tough to say. There are a lot of photos on there. Some things may have leaked in.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's been flagged yet, but there's a lot of half-naked dudes on there currently. A lot of sweaty naked dudes.
Yeah. Our page is kind of weird.
It is weird. This entire situation is odd on a number of levels.
It's like, what do you guys do? Well, we sit around and microphone. Yeah. We sit around a microphone. We talk about half-naked dudes.
It's because we love it. We love half-naked dudes.
Yeah.
We do. We love half-naked dudes.
Yeah.
Especially when they're all squirming around on the show.
and sweaty.
Nobody's going to want to be on this show. Nobody's going to want to be on the show now.
They will.
We've ruined it.
We've
ruined it. Well, it's too late. It's too late because we already got some people.
Yeah.
Okay. The show's pricing and info on ordering are coming up. So if you're interested in a shirt, check them out on the site. You can private message us there, or you can hit us up on independenttalentpodcast@gmail.com with your ordering info. We hit a lot of local shows, plus we're based out of Somerset, so we can generally hook you up with merchandise. And they're printed locally, so it shouldn't take a long time to get your order in.
That's right. Buy local, support local.
Yes, yes. Our big plan is basically to sell enough shirts so that we can afford to buy other wrestler shirts at shows. Because I got to tell you, my T-shirt collection it's running me dry.
Yeah.
There's.
We have like 1,000.
I have like 1,000 T-shirts.
Yeah.
My goal in life is to be able to wear a wrestling shirt every day.
Like of the year?
Yeah.
That is a lot of fucking shirts. I could probably do it a month. I could probably do a month of wrestling.
I mean, they get washed and stuff, but like every day
I can do
wrestling
a week.
shirt.
I can do a week.
You can do a week of wrestling shirts?
Yeah. So there you go. We got a week, a month, and a decade.
So there you go. A super short but very self-serving edition of the Gimmick Table.
Yes.
Making the towns.
Hey, and here's our second edition of Making the Towns. Tonight we are covering Pro Wrestling Revolution, which happened on June 6th in Corbin, Kentucky. This was our first chance to see Pro Wrestling Revolution. It was fantastic. We had a smaller unit of independent talent alumni there at the show. It was myself, the Fighting Man Matt Pierce.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
And with us remote, if it's working right, is Durbin. Are you there, Durbin?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still on the run from Tony, but I'm here.
Good. For those independent talent listeners not being aware of things, Durbin was locked in Tony Schiavone's basement, allegedly. We have to say allegedly due to lawyers. But use your imaginations for the sick, twisted sexual things that have happened to Durbin over a couple-month period of time.
Yeah, poor guy, man. It's horrible.
It is horrible. We're going to kick things off. First up, let's talk about the general setup of the show. Full-size ring.
Yeah.
Black and red color scheme.
Yep.
Metal guardrails.
Yeah, metal guardrails. That's actually not a lot of. I mean, I guess it's hard to get a hold of guardrails, but a lot of the guys who use ropes or fencing, these have actual metal guardrails. It's pretty cool.
It went well. They had the gimmick table set up. They had concessions set up.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good PA system. Everything ready to go.
Yep.
Altogether, a good crowd. It was very well done. You come in, you pay your ticket. As far as the setup goes, this is only their second show. It was run really well. There was no confusion.
Yeah, it was all streamlined. They had the concessions and the gimmick tables off away from everything, but still out in an open area they could get to it easily.
Yeah.
The one thing
ahead,
I will add is this was their first show in the Corbin Civic Center. The first one was at the London Optimist Club.
That's true.
Yep.
The London Optimist Club is also where their next show will be in August that features Colt Cabana, Cliff Compton, and Wildcat Chris Harris as a guest, which we'll be talking about that a little later this show at some point.
Yeah.
We're going to hype any time that those guys are around.
Absolutely.
Getting into the first match, things kicked off. Alex Angel went up against Corey Static. Corey Static generally wrestles in the Corbin area anyway for some other promotions. Generally a good match.
Yeah, really good match. What a short match, like an opening match sometimes is. It was well paced, and told the story it into. It was a really good match.
For me, this match was one that I was really excited about just because with previous promotions in the area, I have seen both of these guys before, and even with the time they were given, they made it work.
Yeah, it went really good. Alex Angel eventually took the win over Corey.
Yep. It's a pretty awesome looking GTS to do it with too.
Yeah, and it paid off nicely. Second match, a wrestler I followed on Facebook but hadn't actually seen in person, Nate Cross, accompanied by the Dahlia, went up against John Strange, who we saw recently on Now. If you've listened to our first episode, we've talked about him on that.
Yep, this time though he was in singles competition. Last time he was tagged in a tag team. This time showing that he can mix up the singles too.
Yeah. We've seen John Strange on a couple of occasions, and he always delivers.
Yeah,
for sure.
He came on the gate, man, just firing full blast. He was high speed.
High speed and high flying. That was also something that, for the second match of the night, I wasn't expecting to see, but was glad I got to see.
Yeah. The pace of the match was a lot quicker than I thought going into it. Mostly because neither guy are necessarily like small guys.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much moving the whole time. Nate Cross got the win. eked out a victory, pulled one out in heel fashion. But yeah, for first time out, like I was excited to see the guy. I'm hoping he's back in PWR again, soon.
Definitely. Him and the Dahlia both. It's a good package. Came up with the mic stand. Great presentation.
Yeah. And by this point, it being the first time we were at a PWR show, you could already tell there was something different about this promotion than some other promotions we've been to. Mostly like the length of match times, especially for these opening matches.
Yeah.
The lack of rest holds, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
The audience seemed to be more of, say, like 20 to 30s range.
It seems like more of a Ring of Honor type audience than a traditional, like, local audience to me.
Yeah.
There were definitely some chant skilling. People were getting into it. It was pretty cool.
Not an over amount of kids there. The kids that were there were old enough to be there for wrestling. Like they were in their seats generally, not being distracted and playing on the floor or running around. Yeah. Which isn't bad necessarily, but it was noticeable that everyone was there to watch the wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was also great that we didn't have the predictable finishes. I think even in this match that we were discussing, that you thought it would end a couple different times, and it kept going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on paper you would think John Strange automatically takes the win.
Yeah.
Just but not the case. Not the case. Which, as we'll talk about these more matches throughout the night, that's basically how it went down. I mean, it was very unpredictable. Which, granted, a lot of these guys, this was our first time seeing them, which is going to throw it off for us anyway. But that's what makes it so fun as well. It was a great experience.
Absolutely.
Third match on the card. I think is up there as on a card of fantastic matches. I think it comes out as one of the best matches of the night.
Yeah.
Was Ron Dukey against Lennox Norris.
Yeah, this match surprised me because it's third match in the card. You're expecting just an okay match back and forth. And this match I feel like could have main evented cards. It was that good. It was well paced. Yeah, I think it could have.
And one thing is, both of these wrestlers have main evented cards before, so the fact that this was a mid-card match just says something about the show overall.
Yeah. The story for the match was so good that the pacing and the story for it and the setup, which we'll get into in a second, was so good that you could see, like, this could be a match that these two guys could conceivably take to other areas and do again.
Yeah, definitely.
The big deal with it was, other than the wrestling was great. They both had two different styles. They were working well off each other. Dukey was playing it up to the crowd. So was Norris, though, in super heel fashion. It was great. But Norris went after a chain. Of course, the referee couldn't see the chain because referees have this tunnel vision when it comes to chains and whatnot. They're just blinded like horses. Puts the chain on his fist, lays out Dukey, gets the pin, gets what everyone thinks is the win. The crowd's upset. He tries to hide it. The ref finds the chain, restarts the match.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Dukey came back with a vengeance then.
Yeah. Took the win. The crowd loved it. Norris left dejected and pissed. Like it was exactly what you want out of a wrestling match.
Yeah, and like I was going back again. Like this match could have closed the show. I feel like it was. I think it might be my favorite match of the night.
Yeah.
I think it really might be.
I mean, it was also great to see a hometown win. I mean, Dukey being billed from Corbin, Kentucky, so he is always over with that crowd.
Yeah, I think he's actually tag team champions with Corey Static in another promotion in the same area. So, yeah. Okay. Post that match, we had Brad Riley taking on Brandon Taggart. Brandon Taggart, we've seen in WCCW.
Yep.
He is the he loves America.
He loves America, yeah.
By God.
Theme music from Rocky IV.
Yeah.
He comes out. He has red, rock, and blue. He represents.
He's wearing the flag.
Yep. He is.
As a shawl situation.
Yeah, as a cape of protection.
Yes, indeed, indeed. It did not manage to fully protect him this time.
No.
The crowd turning on him immediately.
Yeah, they were cheers from Russia.
Yeah, they were cheering Russia. And Brad Riley was like, well, I'm from America too. Like, why are you cheering Russia? But it was, yeah.
Yep. It was
Chance of Russia, Hitler, and I believe even Stalin at one point.
Yeah. There was no holds barred from the fans' ire at Taggart.
It was brutal, but Taggart's American ingenuity and perseverance paid off, and he didn't let it affect him that much.
He did that sweet-ass cannonball in the corner.
He did. America.
For America.
For America.
His gimmick's actually kind of cool. He's got this thing where, like, he's running for president. Like, on he's done some down on the Facebook. It's kind of clever, you know.
His shirt and logo is pretty cool, too.
Yeah, like a politician's thing. Yeah. Riley was cool in my mind because he's all tattooed up and, just generally,
pretty cool biker guy.
Yeah. So it was cool. The match, the match was great. Riley took out Taggart, and Taggart apologized to the crowd and that he would do better for America the next time.
Yeah,
but and that's the thing too. This show so far, like that right there, it's like two young dudes, going at it, and they're just they were just as enthralling that night to the crowd as anybody else. Granted, those guys aren't like fresh, like never wrestled, but it's not like they're the type of guys who've been around for 20 years either. So you see at a lot of shows who, the people are automatically behind into their stories, Yeah. So. The next, after this, it was kind of a match, and it was kind of a massacre.
Yeah, it was a massacre.
We were introduced to Cashflow. Cashflow comes out and gives the challenge that anyone who can beat him, he will give $5,000.
And he said the last time he was in town, he beat the devil himself.
Indeed. So, anytime you've got money up, you're going to have people looking to collect. However, for those who don't know who Cashflow is, we didn't either. The guy looks like the comic book version of Sabretooth. He's a fairly massive amount of muscle and hate, basically.
Yeah.
However, the challenge was answered. Go ahead, Durbin. Sorry.
I was just going to mention you can see his photos on the Independent Talent Facebook page.
You can see his photos and many others on our photo galleries on the Independent Talent Facebook page. That was a good plug.
Yeah, it was.
Cashflow's challenge was answered by one Chris Rose, who stature and size you would not expect to be the guy to come out.
Hey, it's heart, not size.
It is.
Yeah.
As we were seeing.
Yeah.
Chris Rose came in, and Cashflow took him that exact same way, to his detriment, somewhat.
Yeah.
This was definitely an uphill battle on Chris Rose's part.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
We'll say that. However, the pace that he kept up was well. When he was moving, it worked well. Kicks, quick moves, he was on his feet. Once Cashflow could get his hands on him, that's when things turned ugly.
Ugly. It was bad. It was bad. Poor guy.
Cash Flow is a chop artist.
Yeah.
Yes. He chopped his chest into a bruised, veined, like Jackson Pollock painting. It was insane.
I said the guy had heart. I know that because I saw it. Cash Flow chopped his skin away. His heart.
And he gave a couple back.
Yeah.
Rose, I mean, that's the thing. Rose would get trounced and trounced and trounced, and he would still come back every time.
Yeah, he didn't give up. He never gave up. That's something else.
No. Even pinned. I mean, he managed to kick it out a couple times. Like he was on it.
Yep.
But he was basically, it was like he was being made an example of. Like there was no,
Also, Cash Flow, this is awesome pin.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just like sort of jackknives you, and just it's crazy. I never seen anybody else do it that way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he looked like he was pretty much just posted up on a dude, like holding.
Yeah.
So needless to say, Cash Flow got the 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Chris Rose gave it his all. As he went to the back, you could see and he walked out.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some help, but he walked out on his own 2 feet. But his chest was, it was cringeworthy almost at the damage he took. Basically, he took as much damage as you can take in the state of Kentucky without getting a fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, Cash Flow was not done at that point.
Yeah. And if I hadn't had to tie my shoe, I would have answered.
That's right.
$5,000 is a lot of money. I was going to answer it, but my shoe was untied.
I fully expected the fighting man Matt Pierce to get in the ring and show Cash Flow what for with some old style fisticuffs and ingenuity.
Yeah.
But no. But I mean, what can you do? Your shoestring. Shoestring. You don't want to trip.
You don't. That's safety. Safety first.
Yeah. And during the time that Matt couldn't get his shoe tied, Alex Angel, heavily wrap-shouldered Alex Angel from his brutal match with Corey Static, decided to take up the Cash Flow's offer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll give the guy a shot. He just hurt his shoulder and he needed the money, I guess.
That's true. That's true. Angel managed to get quite a bit more offense onto Cash Flow.
Yeah.
I think what helped him a little bit was just, I mean, once he hit the ring, the crowd was like totally behind him.
Yep.
To beat him.
Yep.
I'm sure that was some added motivation to take away from the injury of his shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, that and all the money.
That and the money.
And I think the crowd was so hot for him, or at least he got a bonus from the fact that they just had to watch that cringe-worthy experience a few moments before.
Yeah. It almost made Cash Flow into like just a monster.
Yeah. And I was going to say, Angel took some chops, did he, too?
Oh, yeah, he did. But he also managed to get Cash Flow into the corner, hit him with splashes and kicks to the stomach and chest. Like, they laid each other out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, though, Cash Flow went to the outside, pulled Alex Angel's arm next to the ring post, yanking and smashing his shoulder into the metal.
Yep.
There was a lot working against him,
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't as an uphill climb, but it was still an uphill climb. And
I mean, maybe if Angel hadn't had a match before and was healthy, it may have been a little more less one-sided.
Of course, who knows? If Cash Flow hadn't had a match before, it might have been.
That's true. That's true. If Cash Flow's chopping hand wasn't so already, perhaps it would have went faster.
Yep.
But needless to say, Alex Angel took the pin. Then to add insult to injury, Cash Flow started to strip his clothes off, removing his belt, and whipping Chris Angel's back.
Just beating him.
Yes.
Just beating him. Yes. Hey, you don't mess with Cash Flow, man. Get chopped or whipped.
Chopped and whipped. That's how it works out.
Oh.
And
so Go ahead, Durbin. Sorry.
When that finally ended, they even had to take an extended intermission or mini intermission to help him back to the back of the ring.
Yeah, which didn't work as well as everyone thought, as he was attacked.
Yep.
Sadly, I don't know his attacker's name.
Well, it's because it was like suddenly with a chair.
It was suddenly.
Yeah.
Out of the back, comes through the curtains with the chair, takes down Alex Angel, stands over him, leaves, then Cashflow stands over him because, hey, trophy shot.
Yeah.
Do you know who he was, Durbin?
I haven't found out. Hopefully next time he makes a sporadic attack like that, he'll give us a business card.
There we go. That's the plan. However, I'm sure it's something that I'm sure it's something we'll see in the future. I'm sure some vengeance will have to be wreaked, and you know, we shall see.
If nothing else, I want to see if he's going to show up at the August 1st show.
Yes, I would say chances are at PWR's August 1st show at the London Optimus Center, where you can see Cole Cabana and Cliff Compton and ex-TNA star Wildcat Chris Harris. You'll probably see that dude.
Probably, yeah.
Yes. We're going to do the show, and then he's going to like comment who he is and then threaten us with chairs.
Probably.
That's probably going to... The thing is, that's the deal with developmental talent. Developmental talent, we're talking about New Japan.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ring of Honor. Now, granted, we got a lot of Ring of Honor shows, but still. Independent talent, there's a chance at some point we're going to get hit in the face with a chair over something we say.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to rise that challenge as long as my shoe's not untied, because I can't fight with my shoes untied.
And nobody can. Nobody could expect you to do that. Any kindergartner will tell you that you can't run with your shoe untied.
That's true.
You know,
or scissors.
it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, scissors.
It's insane to even think about.
Actually, from previous episodes of Developmental Talent, we actually know Matt can take a chair shot or two or a dozen.
Well,
yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. I don't like getting hit with chairs, though, guys.
To be fair, my chair shots, while they are epic in scope, may not break the sound barrier like some of them that they could possibly give at PWR.
I don't know. You gave me a concussion that one time.
That's true. You didn't know where the fuck you were for like days. Oh, man. Good times, good times. Well, not for you, but good times. Speaking of good times, a couple of fun teams came out for this next tag team match.
Yep.
The Heartbreakers, which consists of the Voodoo Child Stevie P and the Loverboy Brock Landers, managed by Michael Lovely, went up against Team IOU, made up of Nick Iggy and Kerry Awful.
Mm-hmm.
Both fun teams, both fun in different ways. The Heartbreakers in more of a semi-homoerotic way.
Yeah.
Team IOU, fun in just a natural...
like a fun way.
Fun way, yes. Fun way that doesn't involve like accidental hand jobs and whatnot.
Yeah, or spooning with your partner.
Yeah.
Team IOU was definitely the favorite in this. People got behind them. You know, they were doing the flying the buzz and the Woody out. The little kid had that, and Iggy flew around with it. It's pretty cool. Everybody loved them. And then, you know, the Heartbreakers, you like them, I guess, but they're kind of skeezy too.
I like them because they're skeezy. Who'd you like in this, Durbin?
In all honesty, going into this match, I was so excited to get to see Team IOU again because I've seen them when they've been in the area before, and they're always a fun at time. But by the end of this match, surprisingly, I'm right with the guys that were selling the shirts that life is a work.
There you go.
Yep.
The Heartbreakers managed to get a new fan. It's probably the point where they were laid out in 69 position. I think is what won Durbin's heart.
It might be, or the multiple blowjob thing.
No, those were just headbutts to the crotch.
Oh,
there were headbutts to the crotch.
See, I was so far away. It's,
Yeah.
You know, bad angle. Like,
Well, I can see how you'd think such,
Yeah.
but no, they're a couple of manly men who it was accidental headbutts to the crotch.
it happens, I guess.
For me, it was the accidental arm cranking in the corner.
Yes, that also occurred. This match kicks off great. Carrie Awful basically just wrecked house.
Yeah.
Like, through most of the match. Anytime he was in, he was pretty much just like a wrecking ball, just tearing stuff apart. It seemed like he and Brock Landers were in a lot. Usually against each other.
Yeah.
Stevie P and Nick Icky, nothing taken away from them, as they were both great too in what they were doing. It was another match on this card. And it's ridiculous because it sounds like we're just repeating ourselves, but it was just another fast-paced, well-done match.
Yeah.
Lots of funny spots, lots of great tag team moves. Just lots of fun in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
but again, funny in different ways. You have the more adult humor of the Heartbreakers. At the same time, you got the more family-friendly humor of Team IOU. So you had like a mixture of styles that you don't normally see combined, you know?
Yeah. I don't think, no matter who anybody in the crowd was for at the time, I don't think there was anybody in the crowd who was like, oh, I don't like this match.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a really, really solid match. I feel like, though, Team IOU's want some revenge. They robbed in the end.
Yeah, they did. The Heartbreakers squeaked out the win, thanks to the help of their manager, Michael Lovely.
Yep.
And, you know.
Held the foot while Brock was the pin. It was, I don't know, it was a good ending, though. It made sense. Heartbreakers stood toe-to-toe with them to a point. Then they backed off, and then they had to, I guess they had to do things up in a little less than kosher way.
Hey, a win's a win.
I guess, yeah.
One more thing I would add about this match is that I just love that both teams were so willing to interact with the crowd throughout the entire match.
Yeah, there really wasn't a part where it was just them. You know, they had no problems talking to the crowd or at many points wanting to fight them.
Well, yeah, mostly Brock.
Yeah.
Mostly Brock.
Generally, the older or younger, the better. Fights. Children, and senior citizens were high on the list of combatants.
You gotta watch them, man. They're sneaky.
That's true.
Now, these four and then Dookie, really good interacting with the crowd, back and forth. It's cool to see that because a lot of times, you aren't able to do that because there's a lot going on in the ring. And it's really cool to see the guys with the juggle, taking care of the match, taking care of the opponent, and then interacting with the crowd too.
Plus, a lot of times you get, especially noticeable at a lot of smaller shows, a lot of times the crowd interaction is the fact that you've got like two people or so who it's very real to them, damn it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times it's them wanting to come over the barricade and physically attack someone.
Yeah.
And then the wrestlers goading them into trying to do that while security stopped. This was more of everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. Now, one other thing I did want to bring up, they had been there before. The Team IOU had, but it's been a while. That, I guess, previous, same area, previous company. And some people remembered them. And they've done some of their old catchphrases and things. And Carrie Awful was really appreciative that those people remembered him. And it seemed like it really meant a lot to him that to be remembered that long from those fans. So.
Hoagie, who's not on the show tonight, on this segment anyway, he wasn't at PWR. He saw them at a fair last year, and they were doing their previous stuff, which is more, I guess the easiest way to describe it would be Adventure Time.
Yeah.
And before he even knew what their name was, he would talk to us about them all the time. Like, that was the thing that he remembered. Like, he loved those guys.
Yeah.
So they obviously are good at leaving great first impressions on fans. So
Absolutely.
and that's what you want to do. That's the goal. I mean, one of the goals.
Yeah.
Their goal, however, was also to defeat the Heartbreakers, which they did not do. This was also their match. Could have main evented.
Yeah, it definitely could have. Just main event quality.
I have no doubt that okay, sorry, tongue-tied. Words are hard. But I have no doubt that we will see them again in future PWR events, because the crowd loves both of those teams, and so they've got to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only makes sense. I mean, really, that's the same for like all the wrestlers on this card so far.
Yeah.
It seems like I don't know how set PWR's regular roster is. I mean, some of these guys are probably they bring in here and there, but like it'd be tough picking which one of these guys you wouldn't want back.
Yeah.
And
as long as they can both stick around, I feel like there's a title, a championship in Team IOU and the Heartbreakers future. I thought both of them were teams that deserve titles.
Yeah, that's something else we can talk about. Just like now, which we talked about on a previous episode, they're so new that, as far as we're aware, the titles have not been set yet with any champions.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that could be coming at any time. I really look forward to that.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, now for the actual main event of the night: Pro Wrestling Revolution, June 6, 2015. Picture perfect Jordan Cage versus Menace.
Yep. Jordan Cage, who previously had defeated Davey Richards.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty big deal, beating former tag team champion Ring of Honor and TNA.
Yeah, Davey Richards was at PWR's first show and went up against Jordan Cage, and whether actual straight up means or underhandedness, Jordan Cage won. So he is allowed to claim that he has beaten Davey Richards.
Yep.
For those who are wondering if there's any pauses in this, there's this. It's a couple second time delay between us and Durbin, and we're trying to not cut him off all the time.
Yeah.
So we're kind of tiptoeing around the mic, trying to make sure that everybody gets equal talk time without anybody getting cut off, and without it sounding weird for you at home. Other than the fact that we're randomly just think of whenever it's quiet, just think that we're chugging beers and doing a ton of cocaine and we can't talk. We're busy. Okay, Jordan Cage versus Menace. Menace definitely the crowd favorite. Of course, generally masks can do that.
Yeah.
Always a good kit for the fans. Guy with a mask. Plus, all we've seen from Menace previously. Good stuff. Super quick, high flyer.
Can fight, brawl best of he needs to.
Yeah. We saw him go up against Shane Douglas. Yeah. They brawled out in the crowd, which, hey, whatever.
And one of the things that helped Menace out in this match, and one of the reasons the crowd was so quick to warm up to him, is that those same fans that remembered Team IOU would also have their memories of him from that previous company.
Yeah. He'd wrestled in the area for a while. Jordan Cage starts things off. He gets on the mic, yada yada, says things,
which was a great save because of their audio technical difficulties at that one moment in the show.
Yeah, they had some problems with the entrance music. Kicking off, I think, and it was towards the end, and it was, I don't know, it seemed like a technical difficulty that you couldn't be oh, this just needs to be turned on. It seemed like something legitimately screwed up.
Well, like we said earlier, it's the first time they've been in this building, so it maybe it's been the setup wasn't the same as what they're used to. These things happen sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the end of the world. I mean, interest music's interest music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. He came out, saved it. I'm gonna play my interest music. And on the mic. Menace comes out to face him. The setup with this match is, which is time limit. So they get to it.
Yeah.
And it was wrestling.
Well, the thing is, they had all these matches that we've been hyping up to live up to.
Uh-huh.
So they had to put on a good show.
Yeah.
And they delivered.
Oh, from the get-go.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Tons of moves and reversals. Lots of stuff off the top rope.
Yep.
Lots of stuff outside. Like it was generally great. Anytime Miss would get the upper hand, Jordan Cage would back himself out of the ring or try to beg him off or distract the ref. However, they wrestled to a time limit.
Yep.
Done. No winner. Well, you know what? That wasn't good enough. The crowd was chanting 5 more minutes. They gave them 5 more minutes.
They did.
So you got 5 minutes. So you think, well, okay, this is how they're going to wrap things up. And they started off. Huge moves, finishers. It goes to time limit again.
Yep.
So you're like, oh, well, they're going to do a draw. No. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
Yeah. And these weren't like 5 minutes and you're going to get 4 of them being a headlock. No. This is going and going and going.
Yeah.
Like, I was photographing at ringside. It was not cool in this building. The lights by this point were on for a while. It was warm, at least where the ring was. It wasn't uncomfortable, I don't think, in the seating. But under the ring, it was warm. And these guys are going and going and going. And, they're taking a lot of punishment and just overall, they got to be getting worn down at this point.
Yeah, and they were frantic, especially Menace, really trying to go for the either making submit or going for the pin. Just trying to prove that, he could beat this guy. And I believe he could have, he could have went either way.
I believe that this was one of those matches that, in all honesty, this could have been, and I feel they could have gone for a full 60-minute Iron Man, just because of how much they were able to put into it each time they extended the time.
Yeah, definitely. I think if that sort of thing where 5 more minutes isn't done right, it can lead to people like, okay, well, this is done and leaving. But the way that was done, as soon as that bell rang, it built up the intensity and the suspense. Especially that last time that he started, I thought that match might just end at any second.
Yeah. Lots of false finishes and roll-ups and just constantly trying to pin the other guy. They finally went another 5 minutes, and this is where it got crazy. We're getting close to the time limit. We're getting there. We're all like, oh, they're counting down, blah, 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 blah. Out comes the Heartbreakers. Slide into the ring, the Heartbreakers, and Jordan Cage start stomping the shit out of Menace in the corner.
Yep.
Just wearing his ass out. Then, thankfully, Team IOU comes out to make the save. They battle the Heartbreakers and Jordan Cage, who's still going up against Menace. While the Heartbreakers Team IOU are fighting, Jordan Cage gets Menace onto the second rope, kicks a chair underneath him, gives him the fuzzy 8x10 on the chair. I don't know the best way to describe the move.
It's a pile driver.
Yeah.
Off the middle rope. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pile driver where he doesn't have Menace vertical. He's horizontal.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and then basically, Menace's head is between his legs. He jumps into the air and then comes down onto his knees Yeah,
he jumps, and as he jumps, that puts Menace in a position, or I guess whomever he does it to, it's position for the pile driver.
Basically, we're describing it like shit, but it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It is.
And sort
Go ahead.
Sort of this. It's a hybrid of for those of you who are or have watched WWE, it's a hybrid between Randy's middle rope signature move and the pedigree, but without the arm hook.
Yeah,
Without the double arm hook.
That's a good way to describe it, Durbin.
It's like an almost pedigree, kind of.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he hits on this, and it gets bad. By that point, I mean, Menace is out. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's... And and this is all post. Like, the match is done. You know, it's set up, time limit draw, you know, like, done and done and done. By this point, Team IOU and the Heartbreakers have moved themselves back to the back, fought their way through the curtain. Jordan Cage isn't stopping on Menace. So the CEO of PWR comes out.
Yep.
And gets in there to try to get Jordan Cage to just stop what he's doing, all this. Some words are said back and forth. Jordan Cage puts his hands on him, shoves him. Thankfully, Ryan Duty comes out of the curtain to make the save there. Manages to chase off Jordan Cage, who goes back to the entrance and stands there like he's not, like he hasn't just been run out of the ring.
Yeah.
Choice words are said again by both parties, and then they go to tend to Menace and see how he's doing. It is a great ending to the show. It leaves a lot of open-ended feuds started between. It makes me want to go back to these shows to see this continue.
It builds a main event picture. It's definitely going to be Jordan Cage. Menace maybe might be there. Dookie might be, who knows? You know, it's
you've got tag teams going at it.
Yep.
And getting pretty heated to where there's reasons why they're going to have matches again, not just we're sticking them against each other.
It's one of those things to where I've been following their Facebook, trying to watch and see when they post more information about this August 1st card, because, in all honesty, the June show was great, but the August 1st show, I mean, general admission $10, ringside seating 12, it's going to be well worth the money.
Yeah, I mean, the way this is going, and this isn't like blowing smoke, Colt and Cliff Compton and Chris Harris are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to put on awesome matches, whoever they go up against.
Yeah.
But I'm just as excited to see the people who we saw at this previous PWR show also continue what they're doing. I want to see matches from them.
Yeah.
It overall was great. I mean, like I said before, they had a great crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Best crowd? No. Good crowd. Really good crowd.
Really good crowd.
The best crowd we're going to say right now is still now. Like, that crowd was crazy. Yeah. They were just insane for wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, there could have been some people in that crowd that were actually insane for wrestling. We don't know what their medication said.
Insane.
Yeah. But the PWR crowd was very mature, enjoyed the wrestling, knew what they were there for, good stuff. However, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be a lot for these other shows we're going to go hit to live up to. PWR, for me, has had the best in-ring wrestling that we've seen live since the last Ring of Honor show.
Yeah, easily. Yep. And
I'm going to throw this out here, and this one might surprise you a little bit. Honestly, I preferred the PWR show over the Global Force Wrestling Knoxville show this last weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Durbin, the only member of developmental talent / independent talent who was able to attend. What he's saying, PWR, is that your show is better than the Bullet Club.
That's what he said. Just said it.
I don't know if he necessarily said that, but that's how we're going to hype it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was great. If you're a legit wrestling fan, you know, if you enjoy going to shows and I don't even know how to. Basically, if you like wrestling and you're not a fucking moron, you'll want to go to Pro Wrestling Revolution when they have their show in August, because you are going to miss out if you don't. The track record of sitting through this show, you know, like, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and it's in London, so it's on the interstate, so it's close to everywhere, essentially. Yeah. I mean, you can get there in like half an hour from a lot of places, an hour from most everywhere else. So you know, it's not, you know, out of the way or anything, and it's going to be a really great show. And even if it wasn't for, you know, Colt and Cliff and Wildcat Chris Harris, you still want to have card pull matches that are essentially a card pull main events. You know, every match will be main event.
Well, I was at ringside taking photos, which I'll also give that to them. Pro Wrestling Revolution, totally cool about. So I got so wrapped up in what I was seeing while I was taking photos, I almost got bowled over multiple times by wrestlers. Because I was too busy looking through my lens at the action to be aware of what the fuck was going on around me, because also I'm just stupid like that, I guess.
Yeah, and I would have warned him, but again, my shoe was untied again, so.
Yeah. Really, your shoe strength should take precedence over anything else.
I know.
Because, it's a dangerous proposition.
People break their necks.
They do all the time.
You can just fall and break your face.
You could Google it right now, and I'm sure at least 1 to 2 people have died in the last hour from shoe untied related situations.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing it every day.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic. I don't know why we have shoes.
Your shoe's untied, you trip and fall on a gun, it goes off.
Yep.
Should have been cleaning it. So close to your untied shoe.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
You try to enter the burning building, your shoe's untied, you just fall down and burn alive. It's over.
Or you fall.
Yeah.
Actually, a puddle of gasoline.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
While you've been discussing shoe tying, I've actually been tying my shoes.
Good. Yeah. Good. Because we don't want you to fall and your phone go through your head because you don't have your shoe tied.
That's what happened. That's exactly what would happen.
Exactly what happened. I'm no doctor, but I've seen things.
He's not a phonologist.
Okay, so there you go. I think we talked this thing to death, really. I mean, Pro Wrestling Revolution, we hit their second show. It was good from start to finish. Give them an A+.
Yeah.
If we had any type of rating system, which is completely arbitrary because I don't think we do.
We could have a rating system. We have boards and markers.
We do, but man, it's too late to get those out right now.
We'll just say A+.
We'll say A+.
A+.
A+ Pro Revolution. If you're a fan of wrestling, go to the show. If you're a wrestler, try to get booked on one of their shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not going to give you financial advice because, you know, if you take it, I think you have to give us a kickback.
So, yeah, you should take our financial advice.
I think it's the rules of the road. Yeah. Take our advice.
Take our advice, yeah. We're financiologists.
Yeah. You better be awesome for your ass. Don't make us look stupid.
Yeah.
Don't be a hack. So there you go. That's it for this edition of Making the Towns.
There you go.
And there's the roll-up.
And that pretty much concludes episode 2 of Independent Talent. I hope you enjoyed the talk with PWR. We brought Durbin in, of course, through the phone. I think it turned out sounding a little bit better than we were worried about how it was going to go. I think it turned out okay. We'll probably use it for a few future interviews, but we still like doing them in person. We got a couple announcements for tonight, but before we get into that, before we talk about the next show, so far the best thing about the Independent Talent episode 1 is that a mere 3 hours after the show aired live, we received our first bit of hate email which I feel is like the greatest achievement you can possibly have.
Yeah.
Because generally anyone who hates you enough to write something angry to you, you've got them for life.
Yep.
Because they will listen to you and hate you forever. If you like something, that was great, cool. It's pretty much it usually.
Yeah.
You might, we got some kind words from some wrestlers that we'd mentioned on the show. That they liked it, and we totally down for that. But I'm just gonna tell you guys, according to this, we are pussies.
Yeah.
We are pussies.
Sorry.
I don't mean to break your hearts or break you down, but all three of us are pussies.
We are
pussies. We've been found out.
Damn it.
In fact, it's so good that I think I'm just going to read it for everyone. We'll leave the name off. The name that I feel like probably not an actual email address anyway. Yeah. It's a pretty horrible made up name. If it is, it's pretty boring. So the imagination level is pretty low. But the descriptions in this email are so great. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? All right, it starts out. And for those of you who might not be aware, we've done this before on developmental talent as well. We're not above it. So, in fact, if we get enough hate mail, we'll make it a regular thing. Literally, you guys can have your dumbass developmental talent show, BC. It covers outside of Kentucky, but you assholes think you have the right to do local stuff now. Literally, we can have developmental talent.
We can.
We literally have developmental talent.
It's our show.
We literally own it.
We also literally own independent talent.
We do.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We own it.
Assholes. We think we have the right to do local stuff now. Well, since you spelled it RITE, that's more of a...
Like diet right?
No.
Oh.
I guess it's diet right spelled that way, but that's not the first thing that pops into my head. I was thinking more like a ritual rite.
Oh.
So
okay.
like satanic worshiping of local stuff, some type of possible like voodoo. But but what he's saying is he doesn't put a question mark. So I think he just told us that we have the right to do local stuff now.
So we can do voodoo independent wrestling podcast.
Literally.
Okay.
I've listened to you all's other show, and you barely know anything about bigger wrestling, so what makes you think you can cover actual real wrestling?
He's a fan.
It's still real to him, damn it.
Yeah.
That's right.
He is a fan. He's listened to developmental talent.
He's a fan. He loves us.
Well, to be fair,
yeah.
If we barely know anything about bigger wrestling, wouldn't it make more sense that we would cover local stuff then, because we're not good enough to cover New Japan and Ring of Honor and whatnot?
I mean, yeah.
Conceivably.
Conceivably, but since we're like doing voodoo now, I don't know how that works.
And while don't get us wrong. Okay. Also, we're not just covering Kentucky.
No.
We're covering all the surrounding states.
Yes.
This isn't just a Kentucky podcast. Just because episode 1 we covered now and this one covered PWR, that's because those are the shows that we've hit recently. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry that Kentucky is such a touchy subject for us to cover. Like we're going to destroy wrestling here. But I don't know if you know this or not, but it's not actually real wrestling. We're not saying it's not good. It's fantastic wrestling.
Yes.
But, well, it's predetermined, sir. This isn't Roman Greco Olympic style action you got going.
It's true.
Yeah. Let's see. You are a bunch of pussies who have never stepped into a ring and made the crowd happy. Fuck this show and stop doing it. You all are a joke and a disgrace to Kentucky wrestling. Go back to Vince McMahon and what he calls sports entertainment, because it's all you fucks know anything about. The best part of this is McMahon is spelled M-C-M-A-N. He spelled it like it sounds.
Yeah.
He spelled it like if you ordered Vince at a McDonald's drive-thru. I'd like a Vince McMahon of the 99-cent menu.
So you get Vince and Stephanie, is that McDouble?
But to be fair, I mean, beyond his spelling and his lack of punctuation and the constant lowercase letters on everything and the lack of any type of question mark for stuff, and the fact that you spelled pussies Pussys, which isn't how it works, it's IES. So
IES.
learn how to spell pussies. It's ridiculous if you can't curse correctly. We've never stepped into a ring and made a crowd happy. That's true. Because if I was a wrestler and was doing a podcast about local wrestling, that would be pretty narcissistic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be pumping myself the whole time. We are fans. That's right. We are the crowd that wrestlers make happy.
Yeah.
Now made us happy. PWR made us happy. Upcoming wrestling shows we're going to be talking about made us happy. Like, that's how it works.
Yep.
Are we wrestlers? No. I have a wrestler's license, but it's simply so I can take photographs at ringside. We don't claim to be wrestlers. You know? That it's not our deal.
Yeah.
We just love wrestling. We fucking love it. We love it enough that we record a podcast that your ass hates so much, you send us this email. Go back to Vince McMahon and what he calls sports entertainment because it's all you fucks know anything about. Well, if you listen to Developmental Talent that much, you know we know jack shit. Well, Hoagie knows a lot, but we don't even cover WWE. We brought this fuck in to talk about WWE because we haven't even been watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I watch anymore is Kevin Owens.
I don't know if you've heard the last few episodes of Developmental Talent, but pretty much Ring of Honor and New Japan, we've almost been covering them too much.
Yeah.
Like,
listen, sweetheart. Look, it's you can't. First, I don't know how you get Vince McMahon from a McDonald's, but we'll have a Voodoo Independent podcast, and then yeah, man. Like, won't you? I don't know. I just don't know.
Which he thinks we're pussies.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Well, if we're pussies, then we're the best damn pussies on the whole motherfucking planet.
okay.
That's what it says in the intro.
It does.
It does. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hey,
it does.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very. I mean, I don't know. It's so ridiculous. It's so hilarious to get these.
Yeah. He sent us some more. It'd be funny.
Yeah, we'll read them.
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this guy wrote a long ass email. He didn't sign it sincerely or with love, though, and that hurt me a little. It was like an arrow in my heart.
He might have used all his words.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
He may. This may be one of those deals where, like, he's so, like, into the hate that he had to stop what he was doing and pleasure himself.
I take it.
Maybe our show is like a fetishist's dream if their fetish is like horrible wrestling podcasts that they can't stand. Like, this dude's just got a belt around his neck. he's got independent talent tattooed on his penis. He's just punching the shit out of it. He's just smashing his dick with a hammer. Just like, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. It's awesome. Anyway, that was our first episode, our very first hate mail for the thing. I felt like we needed to read it because we're in the big time.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Speaking of the big time, the third episode of Independent Talent coming up, we had a chance to sit down at Corey Static's residence, and we shot the shit for a little over an hour. We talk everything from how he got into wrestling, what he thinks about some big players in the wrestling business. We talk about comic books, video games, movies. We talk about everything. Super fun conversation.
Yep.
Basically, that's the entirety of episode 3. So look forward to that. He's the first interview for the show. Definitely not the last, as we have a number of people lined up, because if there's one thing people like to do, it's like to talk to a bunch of pussies. So I like talking to pussies.
Yeah,
I don't know.
great.
Whatever. Pussies and sweaty dudes. Let's, independent talent. That's our new tagline. Pussies and sweaty dudes.
Yeah.
Sweaty dudes.
So there you go. Another Not Safe for Work episode of Independent Talent. Well, the best podcast for Mid-South wrestling coverage. And if prove us wrong, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
This might be the end of the episode, but the beat goes on for Independent Talent Online. Check out news, upcoming events, and massive photo galleries by liking the Independent Talent Podcast Facebook page. Also, feel free to hit us up with your opinions, suggestions, bitching, and moaning by sending emails to independenttalentpodcast@gmail.com. Oh, and for the love of wrestling, please support your local indie federations. Now get moving! We've got to get these chairs stacked and the trailer loaded.